My warm greetings, dear colleagues, conference participants and guests. I would like to represent our investigation of features of negative space in the design of mobile application. This study was conducted at the Department of Drawing and Painting of Kyiv National University of Technologies and Design by Antonina DUBRIVNA, PhD in Art Studies, Associate Professor of the Department of Drawing and Painting, and graduate of Faculty of Design, DUBRIVNYI Petro, Master of Design. At the current stage of the development of digital technologies, the issue of quality interactive exchange of information resources is relevant. It utilizes design method and means adequately provide specific requests of users of our time. Mobile application design is becoming a more and more popular sphere of design. It combines aesthetically functional aspects of creation of accessible visual and text content with an understanding of space-time peculiarities of real existence. It operates with economic and marketing means to create adequate social cultural communication. The trend of functionalism in approaches to the design of mobile applications dictates method and solutions, actualizes stylistic trends that are consistent with the needs of modern society. The need to draw the user's attention to the main element of information determines the use of strategies in stylistics, which allows achieving a maximum effect. In this context, the negative space as a method of design work on the construction of a composition of a mobile application has available advantage. Proper use of negative space significantly optimizes the user's experience in perceiving content. The balance between elements of the compositional space directly affects the effectiveness of the page or interface typography. It has a positive effect on branding. In some graphic design elements, for example logos, designers provide an appropriate amount of negative space around the object to make the perception more comfortable. If these features are not taken into account, it reduces the quality of the visual form. Also, negative space affects the design stylistics, forms the characters of the mobile application. Sufficient amount of negative space improves the visual hierarchy and allows users to focus on crucial elements, optimizes the attention factor. As a result, negative space affects the visual perception of text and graphics content and improves navigation. One of the strengths of the specified design reception of mobile application is that the minimalism of the solution in interface design increases the attention of users. Pages are not overloaded, and all present elements are focused on the necessary information, increases the functionality of the application. As a rule, designers don't use considerable quantity of visual images, but those which are used are very informative and appreciable. Searching for such images takes much time. However, by carefully selecting them, it can be created the desired image. Visual form must conform to the principles of minimalism. Otherwise, they can destroy the entire created effect. Also, it should be noted that designers use contrast when choosing colors, shapes, and arrangement of elements. One of the most reliable tools to help achieve maximum expressiveness. In the interface design of mobile applications, negative space is an essential factor of high usability and interface management. We emphasize that the concept of negative space and white space are the same. The term white space comes from the design of printing since the days when pages are predominantly white. So the white space was all around, between and inside letters or symbols, as well as around illustrations. The term has nothing to do with white, but refers to an empty space, not color. The term negative space comes from photography. In a photo, it defines positive space, objects that attract attention, and negative space, background. Negative space in web design should not be just white. It can be any color, texture, even pattern or background image. Thus, too many elements without enough space significantly increase the level of distraction. Overloaded with information and interactive elements, most of which they don't need. Users will have to make an effort to find what they need. With this, the notion of negative space should be given adequate meaning. Negative space is a zone of layout that remains empty. It can be not only around objects that place it of the layout, but also between them and inside them. Because of this, white space is an appropriate design element that has a significant influence of the positive experience of users. Based on the above, let us highlight the benefits of using negative space in the design of mobile application. The first is the level of psychological perception of the interface by the user is improved. The second is conditional links are formed between the elements of the composition, focusing on the user and usability. Third is promotes compositional balance in the design of the interface space. Next one is sets the user's focus on the principal elements and reduces distractions. And last one enhances the aesthetic characteristic of the artistic style, adding elegance and sophistication. Negative space defines the boundaries of objects, creates the necessary links between them, and forms a high visual efficiency. In solving artistic and functional problem in the design of mobile application, negative space is an essential factor in high interface navigation. Without sufficient space between the elements of the composition, the degree of perception of the mobile application content decreases and users risk missing what they need. Thus, an adequate amount of negative space solves this and makes the process of mobile app content consumption more natural. Define that negative space refers to effective aesthetically functional techniques of the design. It is emphasized that the huge usage of negative space in a mobile application meets the general minimalistic tendencies that exist in modern design. It leads to the use of stylistic strategies that enhance the user's attention. Thus, many advantages of the use of negative space, which optimizes the broadcasting of information, improves the degree of perception of content, and enhance the expressiveness of artistic characteristic of the design project are highlighted. Thank you for your attention.